There is an account crisis on Nitro. Hundreds of accounts are getting stolen, and scammers are having the time of their lives. However, this is not the usual run-of-the-mill scamming that you might have heard about all the time. This is a very sophisticated form of scamming that is being helped by certain tools that are actually designed to help other people find their accounts. However, scammers are using these tools to get into accounts that are not theirs. This is a complete video on support scamming and other forms like it, and how to watch out for it, and how you can try and at least combat it. Let's get right into the video. So normally, scamming on Nitro has been a very simple, consistent method. You ask someone for their account details, their username and password, in exchange for some scamming type of thing. Right? You say something like, oh, if you give me your password, I'll send you money, or if you give me your password, I'll do races for you, etc., etc. These scams have always worked, right? Because Nitro's player base is pretty young, pretty naive. They might not be the most experienced in the online world of scamming, and this usually works. However, nowadays, a lot of Nitro players have been getting smarter. They know to watch out for that, and they know not to give their password out to other people. And so scammers have had to step up their game. However, recently there has been a trend among scammers that has proved to be very effective, and it's what I wanted to talk about in this video. It's called support scamming. And for those of you who might not be familiar with support scamming, it is the act of using the Nitro support form, which is supposed to be a tool to help people with their normal problems on Nitro, and scam people's accounts out of using that support form. Here's how it works. You can email Nitro support to ask for your password to be reset. This is normally used, or it's supposed to be used, for people who lost their passwords or are logging in on a new computer, something like that, some form where they just don't have their password and they need to reset it. This is a very good thing, and it's a must-have thing in a game. You gotta have some way to reset your password if you don't know it. However, people have been using this support form to actually steal accounts, and they do it by emailing support and pretending to be the person who lost their account, and then ask for their password to be reset, and then when the password is reset by support who thinks they're resetting it for the person who owns the account, but they're not, then they just steal the account completely without the person who owns the account ever giving away their information. This is very bad because it means at any moment a scammer could potentially just take your account, and that is not good because that basically means any account in the game could be compromised at any moment. Now, you guys may be wondering, how do scammers pretend to be the people when they're not? Nitro asks for simple pieces of information to help prove it's you. However, Nitro does not have a good system for proving it is you who actually owns the account. According to a lot of people, they've always been asked for things like past usernames and, of course, the email attached to the account. However, there's a big problem with that. If a scammer knows a couple of past usernames on the account, knows the email attached to the account, and emails support, they could theoretically prove it is them without ever being in your account, without ever owning your account, without being you. So that's why that system doesn't work well whatsoever, because those are pieces of information that a scammer could potentially find very easily, and they are doing it very easily, right? This is not a hypothetical situation. Scammers are actually doing this all the time. This has also been exacerbated by the recent uprise of account sharing, where people are very willing to share their accounts with as many people they can find just to try and get more races done. And I've always not been a big fan of account sharing because it's a great way to just get your account stolen, but this is actually another big reason that you don't want to account sharing, something I want to go over in this video. And it is this email right here from support where someone was asking about an account that was banned for cheating. However, the important part is the second piece of the email from Nitro support, and I'll read it off to you. Additionally, we are no longer resetting passwords on accounts that share, sell, or acquire passwords on Discord or in any other way. Sharing accounts or borrowing them from one another runs the risk of having them taken. This is our new company policy. So normally, Nightshade will reset your password if you get scammed or whatever like that. However, according to this email, Nightshade now has a custom company policy where if your account is shared or scammed or bought or stolen or anything like that, they will not reset your password for you. For instance, if I account share with Pandora and Pandora steals my account, Nightshade will not reset my password for me because I account shared with Pandora. Of course, Pandora would never do that, I would never account share, but you understand my point. If you account share with your friend or someone who you think is your friend and they take your account, Nightshade is not going to help you out. Which is why that is a very, very, very big risk, because normally account sharers relied on Nightshade support to bail them out when they got scammed. For instance, there was this OG account, not OG, but the more old account sharer named, what was his name? It was the account Mystic360, if you guys remember that account. I think his name was Stealth. Yeah, King Stealth. And what he would do was he would account share with people willingly, and when they stole his account, he would just contact support and get it back. He did this like 20 times. He got scammed like a solid 20 times and got his account back all the time. However, this is no longer a good idea because Nightshade has a company policy that they will not give you your account back if you've account shared or you sold your account or anything like that. So that is a big, big, big warning. Support is not necessarily here for you. And I mean that in a very weird way. Because even though support is designed to be a very helpful service, they're supposed to help people out with their accounts, there's a couple big features like support scamming, which is obviously something they don't want, and this policy here, which is something they have purposely put in place, that means support is not necessarily your friend. However, I wanted to get back to the main point of this video, which was support scamming and how you can try to combat it. According to the words of Danger Bob, who is a very well-known ethical hacker, someone can scam your account from support if they have your email, your username, and a couple of past display names, and that's all they need. So how can you try and combat this? According to Danger Bob, and I'm honestly trusting him here because he knows a lot about this stuff, he said that if you do not want your account compromised, he would suggest you email support and ask them to put a note on your account not to reset it. This means if you email support and you ask them never to reset your password. This is a pretty good idea because it means if support actually listens to you and they don't reset your password, if a scammer asks to reset your password, they won't do it. That's amazing because that means you will not get scammed. However, there is a slight drawback in case you actually lose your own password. Support will think you're the scammer and not reset it, but it's the only way, in my opinion, or at least in Danger Bob's opinion, to try and really combat this idea of support scamming. And I agree with it. Unless your account's extremely well known like mine is, then theoretically a scammer could take your account at any moment. And I don't want to scare you guys. The majority of you watching right now, scammers would have no reason to take your account, so you're probably fine. But it's always a good idea to make sure your account's as safe as possible. Another thing is, if one of your friends wants to troll you, they could do this as well. They could just become a scammer. So it's a good question to understand who's a scammer and who isn't, right? There's very big, well-known scammers like Anshu and Randor and people like that who scam all the time. And those are people who probably won't target your account because they have bigger fish to fry. However, your friend or someone you know online could do the same exact thing if they know how, and it's not really a hard thing to do. I'm sure I could do it, you could do it, anyone could do it, and it's definitely a very bad thing, and something that people should probably stop doing because scamming's bad. Thanks, guys. But the point is, anyone could end up using support scamming to just take your account out of nowhere, and it's important to try and protect yourself from that. So a good measure might be A, not account sharing. That's a big one. Don't account share, guys. B, never give out your password to anyone online, even if it's someone you know, someone you think you trust. You don't know what's going to happen, and it could just end badly. So don't do that. And thirdly, a good measure could be to email support and ask them not to change your password if someone asks to. This is an idea suggested by Danger Bob, and I think it's a pretty solid idea, so I'm running with it. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully this video was informative, and hopefully you learned a lot about support scamming and how to try and combat it, tackle it, make sure it doesn't happen. Huge thanks to Ultra for this screenshot that you see on the screen right now. Huge shout out to Ultra. And thanks to Danger Bob for providing some insider information, smart information, educated information on scamming and support and all of that. If you have any thoughts, opinions, all that about support scamming, if you have any other ways you can think of to try and fight it or stop from getting support scammed, let me know. Put them down in the comment section. And if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everyone, and have, as always, a wonderful day. Peace.